Dive in there. What got you interested in the moon landing?
That was an episode that people just demanded. I didn't want to do it because everyone's done the moon landing. And are you talking about the Stanley Kubrick one? Because I've done a few moon videos. I think I have a whole
I
compilation.
probably watched all of them, but I know the Stanley Kubrick thing was in there, how the shadows don't align. But let's go into it. I want to hear all of it.
So I debunked a lot of that moon landing stuff. A lot of that episode is based on Bart Sibrel's. Bart Sibrel, it had a documentary quite a while ago, maybe 20 years. A funny thing happened on the way to the moon, I think is the name of it. And if you're into the moon stuff, that's the documentary to watch. And Bart's someone who I trade email with, who I told him, I'm as soon as I'm ready, I got to have you in here because he knows everything about it. But I debunked a lot of his stuff in the documentary, but I couldn't debunk all of it. There were some weird things about, when you see the astronauts and it looks like there's wires, reflections off the wires. It's hard to explain that. I tried to. I said, the way that piece of equipment is, it could be this, but I agree it looks weird. And the way the astronauts fall doesn't look natural, but it's 1/6 gravity. It could be weird. I try to be open-minded to all of it. It's an episode that still confounds me. I go back and forth depending on who I talk to about whether it really happened. And I think the percentage of Americans who don't believe that we went to the moon is just rising every year. I hope I have nothing to do with that.
I'm sure you have something to do with that.
But they lost the tapes, all the original tapes of the moon landing. What you watch when Neil Armstrong climbs off the LEM, One Small Step for Man, that's not a direct feed from anything. That was projected on a wall in NASA, and the networks aimed their camera at the wall to get like this projection. And the networks were like, "Hey, can we just get the direct feed? Because that would be a lot better." And they're like, "No, we're going to do it this way." And then they lost all those tapes. They lost the telemetry. And when asked, why don't we go back? NASA said, well, we can't replicate that technology. It's too difficult.
Yeah, isn't there like some I don't know what you call it. We